Welcome to the Bowls Auckland Centre Finals Day. With me in commentary is Alex Reid. Some of you may have just seen Alex performing very creditably in a very good men's Open Fours final. Now we're at the stage of the men's Open Triples final, and that's a game between Pringle Park, skipped by Kolani, but better known as Dola Maota. In the middle of that team is Wayne Ruka, and we've got Josh Tippany off the front, and you can see Josh's first bowl is a pretty good one there, drawing the shot. And they're up against one of Auckland's most experienced combinations. Blackjack Mike Galloway is skipping Martin Dixon and Gavin Brown, old mates, very old combination together, not necessarily so old age-wise, but they've just been playing together
been around
a while.
for a long time.
I'm trying to be polite because I think they're all younger than me. And so this shapes to be a really good game. You know, Mike Galloway, probably one of the best players that in recent times Auckland has seen, and he and Martin and Gavin have a pretty good record together. But this Pringle Park team have been in fine form. They've been playing some really, really good bowls. And you know, I'm expecting this will be a really good game. So
yeah, Pringle Park, they're a very competitive club. They play a lot of bowls. They've got players like their Kerry Chapman's been here in recent years. Doesn't need any introduction. Tony Ballog. So there's good competition within the club, and I would expect to see them be very competitive today.
Absolutely, and playing today at the wonderful Remuera indoor facility. We've had some inclement weather in Auckland over the last, feels like months and months and months.
Forever.
But certainly yesterday it was pretty wet, so a decision was made to play it indoors. I don't think anyone's complaining about that because the green's playing very well. Brand new resurfaced indoor arena here at Remuera.
Yeah.
And we've seen some high quality games today, with having seen the Open Women's Pairs, then the Open, which was won by Catherine Bean and Lin Q from the St Heliers Club. In the last round, Alex, I'm sorry to do this to you. We saw the Mount Albert.
I'll just mute my headphones.
We saw the Mount Albert team of Tony Grantham, Randall Watkins, Niven Grigesiewicz and Zoran Bartulovic just get up in the late stages of that game to win. And now we see this fascinating triples final between Pringle Park and Royal Oak. And as Michael Galloway, Blackjack, member of the Commonwealth Games team last year, as he plays his first bowl, it's Pringle Park holding the shot. And one of Josh Tippany's first bowls in this final. And Michael Galloway reaching down on that.
Look at this, and there it goes just for a little walk, but back in again. It'll be intriguing, this game, because Mike plays with quite a narrow bias bowl. To those players, if you need that explained, it means that the bowl doesn't turn quite so much. It's on the narrower side for what you can get, and the green's got a lovely speed to it, but it does have a couple of little tracks, and it'll be interesting to see if Mike gets caught in those tracks over this game.
Yeah, a couple of little kinks. We've seen that in both the finals, and we've seen it played to people's advantage and people's disadvantage.
Dollar needs a big straightener.
Yep, and so right now it's probably Royal Oak holding to the bowl of Michael Galloway's that sat through the shot bowl, and Martin Dixon's bowl, which is just in front there. Michael Galloway, superb technician of the game. Very few people get the bowl away as smoothly as Michael does. He's a professional greenkeeper, so he has lots of chance to practice, but even so has fashioned himself a pretty good record. You know, permanent fixture in the Auckland inter-centre team these days, and obviously back in the Blackjacks last year after quite a significant time away.
About 20 years off, I think.
But to be fair, that was when Michael was busy. Michael and Vanessa were busy with their family, and Michael was pretty busy with work. So so nice to see him back in that frame. And here we have Dollar attacking with his second bowl.
Oh, what a shot. What's happened?
Cleared 2 out, and I think that's still going to be 2 to Royal Oak. He managed to get one of the shot bowls, but unfortunately got his two closest bowls as well.
Certainly something that Pringle Park, and we'll just watch this replay here. So there's the shot bowl. But
unfortunately got both of those bowls of Josh's. But fortunately, Wayne's bowl on the right-hand side there was ended up as third shot. So a good hit from Dollar, but perhaps not the result, or definitely not the result he was looking for. Yeah. So here we are, Gavin Brown, ANZ Bank Manager, and these days a specialist lead, I think, or lead or two, and very steady off the front. He's won a lot of titles in Auckland over many years.
I have a funny feeling he won an age group singles, like a Kitty Hawks or something right at the beginning.
I first came across Gavin at a what was called a School of Excellence, which was an event run by what's now Bowls New Zealand. In those days was the New Zealand Lawn Bowls Association, and that was in New Plymouth in about 1991 or 1990 or 91. And I think I was probably in my late 20s, and I think Gavin was in his late teens. So he's been around for a long time in the game, and a heck of a nice guy, and a heck of a consistent bowler. So
absolutely
good to see him there. And here you see he's pretty steady too. So that's why he's always in demand off the front. Inside, why he's been a pretty permanent fixture in teams with people like Michael Galloway and David Clark over the years. And
1992, Gavin Brown won the first ever under 21 singles.
There you go. Well, that would have been about the time he was in the School of Excellence.
That would have
there you go. Thank you,
would have eaten away at me if I hadn't Googled it to confirm.
Well, thank you for that. So
not that I used Google, obviously, it was off the top of my head.
A good bowl from Josh. Good second shot for the Pringle Park team, and he gets a low five from Wayne Ruka, the measurer, the middle player in this triples team. Marty Dixon, left-hander. I'm always pleased to see a few of those around the place. There's one myself, and Martin's another one of those very steady players. Regular fixture in Auckland teams, not always the top 7, but generally nudging around that.
Yeah.
Viewers may recognise Martin and Mike from the Bowls 3-5, where Royal Oak Rockets were one of the feature teams of that. And Martin's he's a pretty steady customer.
Very steady. It's a perfect. Well, these two triples teams are perfect examples of the two ways you can play triples to a high level. Because you've got Marty and Gavin and Mike who will smother you out of a game. You know, they just draw and draw and draw, and you can win triples that way.
Yep.
On the other side of the coin, we have Pringle Park, who if they have a sniff of hitting something or playing a shot, will play it. They play what's in front of them. And that's the other way you can win triples. So it should be, I think it'll be a pretty cool contest to watch.
I agree. Having seen some of their results to get to this stage, both sides have been some very good teams to get here, and that suggests that this will be a good game, and that's a good second. I think he's held on for second there, so a little tricky with the short bowl of Josh's there, just in the way, but there are shots to be played, and we know that this side that Michael Galloway's looking at is a little bit tighter, and so you certainly can play up that side and look for turning that bowl onto the jack.
You can see the jack because it's set to the 7 o'clock mark on that bowl. Is only going in the direction of Marty's bowl, which is also at 7.
So I expect Michael Galloway will come down that side, as you say, with his straightish bowls. The modern bowls these days all have a different arc, and Mike plays with a tighter set, which enables him to be pretty accurate with these sort of shots. So let's see how it comes down.
For a walk,
just about halfway down. They just, we've commented on both finals. They just walk a little bit.
Yeah.
They turn a bit more at the longer ends, but in these medium ends, if you're slightly wide, they just won't come back. So Dollar now with his first bowl of the second end. Be looking to get on the board. And he's coming down the drawing side, and he's on a good line here. Coming well, it's just breaking now, and he's close
Not
here.
bad from Dollar.
He's close here. Look, great effort. Great effort from Dollar. Good spot there.
Probably the oldest bowl on the green, I would say.
Yep, definitely looks
Been
like.
well used.
Yep, definitely a turning bowl, and an indoor. Interestingly, a lot of the top players internationally tend to like a more turning bowl on the indoor surface.
Yeah, I posed that question when I was at the Multi-Nations because I've always wondered why when New Zealanders go to the World Bowls Tour, for example, and that's on 18-second indoor carpets, as we see Mike Galloway here, willing it to hold up just about. I've always wondered why New Zealanders go and then switch to the Vector VSs or the Vectors or the Taylor Aces when we play with straight bowls in New Zealand on outside greens that are 18 seconds, and the answer was the greens are fast, but they just have little inconsistencies.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how good it gets, they've got little inconsistencies. So if you've got a heavier bias bowl, that's no longer a concern if you hit a straightener. I accepted that. It seems fair enough.
I think that's right, and I mean it's easier for your bowls to be turning across the straighteners than running up them.
That's right.
And that's certainly what people like Alec Marshall and others who are indoor exponents have said to me over a period of time. So Dollar's just a little wide this time.
So how many was that to the Royal Oak team? Just look for an indication. Do we have a lollipop person this time?
I can't see the wonderful Jamie Chen, who very helpfully fulfilled that role in the last game.
She did.
But we'll
was it at least just the one?
It's just the one. It looked like it was. There was no need to measure. So 3-0 to Royal Oak. Early days, but as I like to say, there's nothing like getting on the board to start feeling good about a game.
Absolutely, and it means more than you would think. I think we mentioned it in the first game. You can be, if you're say 5-0 down after 5, that feels so different to being just 5 down in a game. Because you go, well, I'm 5, I haven't even scored a point in 5 ends.
Yeah.
So psychologically, it makes a big difference.
And there is that little artificial thing about not scoring and not being on the board that can kind of eat away at you a little bit. So it's it'll be time for Pringle Park, and now Josh with his first bowl on this third end. Played 2 really good bowls last time in this direction, and he's close again here. Great bowl.
Very good.
Just slips by slightly, but that's good. I mean, two ball triples is an interesting game because I think it's largely a draw game, and it's largely about first of the jack, and I think that's where this lead battle becomes so important. And again, Gavin Brown, a good bowl, not as close as he'd like to be.
So I've just done some more research.
As you do, Alex.
And I can tell you this Auckland Triples team. So Mike Galloway has 16 Auckland titles.
Thank you.
Martin Dixon has 18 Auckland titles.
Mm-hmm.
And Gavin Brown has 13 Auckland titles. So we're somewhere in the region of, 50-ish centre titles between this triple. The other triples team, as far as I can tell, hasn't won an Auckland title yet. So if we want to stack up the experience between the two and the David and Goliath, you could argue it's a David and Goliath battle here. The Royal Oak team has been in maybe 50 finals that they've won between them.
And a fair few more that they haven't.
Correct. The Pringle Park team, well performed, and they will have made a few centre finals, but don't know what it feels like to win one yet.
Well, let's hope today's the day for them.
It'd be cool to see.
It would be. No disrespect to the Royal Oak team, but it's it'd be nice to see some different names on the trophy.
Oh, it's nice to see new winners, and they know that they. There's a good bowl there from Wayne Rooker.
Right on cue.
If you beat the
Great
good
bowl.
people to win the title, it's so much more satisfying.
Absolutely.
I know a title's a title, but when you can beat the ones that have been winning it, it's a satisfying sort of victory to have.
Completely. And look, just congratulations to Dean Bartlett and the team at Bowls Auckland. They've turned on a magnificent occasion here. Great to see so many people from around the bowling fraternity here at Remuera, just as Marty Dixon demonstrates one of the reasons why he has won so many Auckland titles, and that's that ability to draw a really good shot. So Wayne Ruka with his second bowl, played a cracker with his first, and he's on a pretty good line again here, down on this this side. Tends to be a bit trickier. We've seen the bowls just holding a little bit out there, and Wayne just maybe a little heavier that time, probably looking to just get a contact on his own bowl. But at this stage, it looks like 1 to Royal Oak, maybe 2.
I think 2. I think that bowl, well, it depends because the height of the camera sometimes, but I think the bowl at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock now, his second shot, and Marty just showing how consistent he can be. There we go, 2.
Nice camera work, team. That really good angle there. And so yeah, I'll back you, Alex. I think it's 2 to Royal Oak.
I was right in the 4s the one time we called an umpire with calipers. Pretty sure it's 1 to us.
Very good.
By 3 cigarette papers.
Well, that's all it needs to be in by. So Mike Galloway, he'll be conscious of not wanting to fatten the head up too much, because we know that Dollar is an attacking player, and he won't be afraid to demonstrate that skill. But nevertheless, there's plenty of room for a good player like Mike to draw another shot, and he's on a pretty good line here.
One of my favourite people to watch play bowls, Mike Galloway. It's one of the players, and I think we saw it with Catherine BN and Tony Grantham's another example. Every single bowl they let go, when you're in the opposition, you're going, am I willing to hold? Do I want it? Because they're so close to the perfect bowl every time, you actually don't know which way it's missing, and that's very hard to play against.
Yeah, they're very metronomical, aren't they? Because with their techniques, very little can go wrong in their at the mat end.
Yeah. So as long as they're reading the green right, they just put it down that chute, and it wears you down.
Yeah, well, it's one of the reasons why all 3 of those players have won so many titles, and why they are so competitive. So here's Dollar, just probing down here.
Far away.
He's got a good line here. Can he get a little touch? Does he need a little touch? Yes, he did.
He deserved better fate than that. That was a well-played bowl.
That was a well-played bowl. Just on that angle, he's really needing a touch off Wayne's bowl, just on the left.
I see Michael Feek. Is he still involved with Bowls Auckland, Brett, in the background, talking to Dean? I
believe so. So there's the CEO of Auckland Bowls, Dean Bartlett, just with his hand on his chin. Just recently joined our game last year from an involvement with cricket, and he's doing a magnificent job. I've been working closely with him on the Digicel Oceania Challenge, which we're going to have in Auckland in a couple of weekends' time, and it's been a pleasure to deal with him, and great to see the benefit of his sporting administration experience being used for the benefit of our codes. So. And I know he's enjoying the job and enjoying today, because I had a bit of a chat to him just in between last commentary. Close again here from Dollar.
Giving his bowl a chance to come back.
Is he going to turn? Is he going to get the edge? Does he get the edge? Oh, so close.
Two beautiful bowls. Look at that. He went around it and underneath it somehow. And a bit unlucky there, to be fair.
Yep, so...
what did I say? 5-0 feels different when you haven't scored, doesn't it?
It does, and so 2 to Royal Oak, and we've played 3 ends, and that's a pretty handy start. They'll be very pleased with that. But equally, it's early in the game, and certainly no suggestion that anybody is assured of anything so far. But the key will be up front. So much of the 2-bowl triples game is dominated by the lead, and so Josh Tippany will be a really important part of Pringle Park's ability to win this final.
It was a game where the pressure dominoes really clearly, isn't it, and two bowl triples, because you only get, in pairs you get a third bowl to correct if you've not executed your first two as well as you'd like. Two bowl triples, the pressure can domino something chronic, and you often see if a team fades for a little bit, 4s and 5s drop just like that, just at the drop of a hat.
So nicely away by Josh. He's played very well. I understand in the lead up to this, just talking to some players, and
Lovely.
that's just a clear demonstration of that. Nice first bowl. That's the shot, clearly, and some more of that, thank you. We'll have the Pringle Park contingent feeling very pleased.
Gavin Brown on the back end.
And great to see a smaller club like Pringle Park through to this final. You know, they, as you say, they've had a bit of a renaissance over the last couple of years with a bit of an influx of experienced players and a lot of new players as well. So good to see in the game, and it'll be great to see them come out with a centre title from this.
Yeah, they're a happy little club, eh? I know when we had our semi-final for the 4s, which we organised amongst ourselves because there wasn't time on the first bit of post section. We had it at New Lynn, and there was a great crowd from both Point Chev and Pringle Park, and they were just a really happy group. And there's music, a few, some hydration, and it was just a really enjoyable, a good atmosphere. So I'd imagine if that's an indication of what their club's like, it's a nice place to play bowls.
Yeah, and I think both of those clubs are not just bowling clubs; they're community hubs. They're places where people like to gather and be part of a good feel. Some of those people play bowls competitively, some of those people play bowls socially, but it all contributes to the club, and that's one of the roles that our sport plays in many communities, and Pringle Park and Point Chevalier are both good examples of that, as is Royal Oak, which has a number of different sporting clubs that use their magnificent facilities in Onehunga, or in the Onehunga area, Royal Oak being a relatively new name for in the bowling club world, being an amalgamation of two very fine and credentialed clubs in Onehunga and Hillsborough, who merged, I'm going to say about 10 years ago, but
I can remember it. Maybe 5. We'll go 5.
Okay.
We'll split the difference.
But there we see Marty Dixon.
Good shot.
Landing in there again. So Wayne Rucker, come on Wayne. It's time for you to draw a shot down that backhand side.
Very efficient action. It's going to be interesting to see.
He's on a good line here, Alex.
He's on a very good line.
He's on a real good line. Is he going to reach?
Lovely bowl.
Yes, he is. That's a great bowl by Wayne Rucker. Well played.
Beautiful stuff, and a nice correction back. You can see his first bowl at 5 o'clock on the screen. Well, I was going to say, and he proved me wrong, there's a few players here who get the bowl away perhaps not as smoothly as you would see in a textbook. And it's interesting because on grass, that's fine. It doesn't really make a difference on grass. On carpet, you can find a wobble or a little dump.
Yep.
Not good. It can, you lose it from the start. So it'll be interesting to see. But obviously, these players are playing well to get here, so they shouldn't be too badly punished.
Look, there is an element of if you do the same thing consistently, it probably doesn't matter quite so much. But yeah, definitely. The smoother the running of the bowl, generally the more consistent you can be. But there are some notable exceptions of that in the history of the game. People that have got a bowl away with a wobble.
The guy from Canterbury, Sonny, what's his face?
Yeah, Sonny Calder, Stuart McConnell from Dunedin.
Interesting here.
Close here, Michael Galloway's. He's just going to slip past. And of course, in days gone by when people had played with standard-weight bowls, a lot of people actually deliberately wobbled their bowl because that was the only way to keep them straight in the wind. We used to call it canting the bowl.
Yeah.
Don't see it quite so much these days because the modern bowl has a different running surface, and if you cant them, they tend to not turn at all. As I know when I get one of mine away badly. So Dollar just coming around the back there, just maybe a little bit of cover. Although that always heavy, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Call it cover. He looks like he played for it. We got Galloway on the forehand. Beautiful delivery, smooth as silk.
Yep.
And this Shouldn't be too far away. Let's see how the finish
I
is.
think he's just going to lack the weight to hold.
Just underneath now, so the chance for Pringle Park to get themselves on the scoreboard here.
All right.
Looks very calm.
Yep, I think been very impressed with this team's results on the way through here, and I think just scoring will be a good settler for them.
This is a well put together bowl, isn't it? You know, that's
Yeah.
a bowl played with a lot of composure.
There you go. That's 2 shots to Pringle Park, I think. Martin Dixon comes out. Out comes the shot bowl.
Now, I've put 2 on the scoreboard, so it better be 2 now.
Yep, 2.
Oh, no,
Oh,
Martin
no,
says 1.
1.
Maybe I'll have to...
Oh, out comes the measure.
Well, we'll keep it 2 until proven otherwise.
Well,
Martin
look.
Dixon.
Well, it looked for all money like Dollar was going to draw another shot there, but
Yeah, that's a rule I prefer in indoor bowls. So an outdoor, it's whoever wants the shot, generally by convention measures. And in the indoor game, which is the one on the mats, the law is the player or team that had the last bowl measures, and it just removes all doubt. There's no confusion. You don't look at each other, and it was just the 1, so 1-5.
good eyes, Martin Dixon, supported by the measure, but the important thing is Pringle Park are on the board. That'll be a great morale booster and confidence booster for them.
Well, it feels different now, doesn't it? Because you're only 4 behind, as opposed to 5-0 down having not scored.
And when you're in your first centre final, particularly a centre event as prestigious as the Bowls Auckland Open men's triples, then there are nerves. There's a big crowd. There's a lot of expectation from your club mates, and so I'm sure they'll be feeling good for being on the board, and let's see how that translates in the rest of the game.
We have Josh on the forehand.
And
He is
again,
playing
he's-
well.
Yeah, that's a good opener from Josh.
Very steady, isn't it?
Yep, he's looking good. Very tidy, and I think this is going to be a good battle between Josh and Gavin Brown. So Gavin playing the side that tends to turn a little more, certainly a little bit more late finish on that side. Gets a clap from Michael Galloway. Not a shot, but close by.
Good enough.
And interesting call here, Dollar changing Josh's hand.
Sort of against conventional leading wisdom, isn't it? Because you play a good bowl, you may as well just make a small correction, but doesn't seem to have phased them. Look at this.
And I think he probably feels the Royal Oak team are getting a bit of a free hit down that hand. So that's a good bowl.
You've achieved a very similar thing than if he had put a back bowler on the forehand side with a chance to tuck it around the corner, I suppose.
Having watched 2 previous finals on this rink, Alex, it does appear that the hands are slightly different paced. Was that your?
Yep.
Was that your?
Yep.
The side on the left on the bank side of the rink definitely seems to be a bit slow. We've seen a lot more short bowls on that side of the rink.
Yep.
Than
Absolutely.
on this side.
And probably, the hand to the right, as we see it, is a bit freer, so the bowl comes back a little bit more, which will take off some of the weight as well.
So Wayne Ruka playing down here, looking to see if he can sit the bowl or press it. Has he got the weight? He's close.
Needs it to hold. I can tell you too, the lead, Josh, up until today, was playing with size 5 ABT Evos.
Yep.
And he's a 3rd-year bowler. So on the day of a centre final, switched to some Aero bowls. It's going pretty well for him.
Look,
Fair call.
I'll have him in my team anytime if he can lead like that in the first time out with some new bowls.
Yeah,
I
good
presume he
stuff.
might have had a practice with them, but
You'd hope so.
Good on him.
And
Good on him.
great to have those new bloods, as it were, coming through as well. And one of the things I like about bowls is that careers last a long time. So we get the opportunity to play our heroes, and we get the opportunity to see legends of different eras still be very competitive as it goes through. So.
And we saw a junior in the fours final with Zoran
Yes.
Bartulovic. So it's great to see a junior in this triples final. Shows you the depth in Auckland. and so far, making every fist of it in his first centre final. So good on him.
It's just an indication that your game is alive and well, isn't it? Because it means the system's working as you get sort of some different people along as the people who have been successful coming through as well.
Completely. So 1 it is to Royal Oak. That bowl of Gavin Brown's, I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the bowl of Gavin Brown sitting at 3 o'clock is the shot.
And but plenty for dollar to play to here.
And the weight will be interesting because we have seen in the past Pringle Park perhaps they were on the heavier side.
Yep.
So while you might think that's just like you might arrest out a bowl, perhaps we might see Pringle Park go a bit quicker. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'll be...
Keep it in mind they've got the bowl at 6 o'clock as well.
That's right. And look, you do want to play to your strength if that's the speed you want to play. It's all about playing the shot that's right for you. And we can see Dollar here reaching up on his backhand.
A little bit of a walk here.
He's close. He might get the back edge of that bowl.
He's been unlucky a couple of times already in this game. That was beautiful weight.
Very good weight.
But a good shot because it's improved the head a little bit.
Absolutely. Gives him another catcher if he happens to get onto the jack. Now Mike Galloway. Mike will be looking to draw a really tight bowl here. So
Marty Dixon giving this one a look. And Mike saying, I'm narrow.
And he's right. He is narrow. And also not quite the weight. So still 1 to Royal Oak. Now Dollar. Good chance for this Pringle Park team.
On the forehand.
Change of hand. Looking for the bowl. Clean down that side. Just swings by. Hard shot to play on that side.
Very challenging.
But obviously liked it. Liked the possibility. So, but it'll be, unless there's a calamity, Royal Oak scoring another one on this end, and obviously Michael Galloway's going to try and make that 2.
You wouldn't bet against it. He's on the right line.
He's close. Just a little quick, I think. Just slides through. So that's 1 to Gavin Brown and 1 to Royal Oak. And they get out to a 6-1 lead.
They'll be happy with how this is progressing, won't they, Brett?
They will. I mean, so far the pattern has pretty much been if the lead gets the shot, then it stays there. There hasn't been a lot of turning over of the shots with the skips playing. And so that'll encourage Gavin Brown and Martin Dixon to keep in their work. And 6-1, it's not a huge lead, but it's definitely a good way to start the game.
I can also tell you that Mike Galloway's just been appointed the greenkeeper for Pringle Park.
There you go. Well, I hope the contract's fully signed and sealed before this game.
Turning their green from Starweed to Maniatoto is his task.
Well, there couldn't be many better greenkeepers in New Zealand to do that. From a family of people involved with greens, his grandfather Ken, his father Stan, who was a greenkeeper at Northern Bowling Club in the Manawatu when I first started playing bowls, and has been a greenkeeper at various clubs around the North Island, and Michael's brother Ross, I think, is involved in more in the artificial surfaces, but has been a greenkeeper as well. So it's a craft. It's a craft that our sport relies on greatly because greens require a lot of work, particularly Maniatoto. A lot of spraying, a lot of work to keep the weed. It is a weed, but to keep other weeds out. And Michael does it better than most. So Pringle Park, I'm sure, will be aware of that, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons he's got the job.
And having done it for a long time, I'm sure he's used to advice as well, Mike.
Yes, well, that's
one of the things greenkeepers get a lot of.
Yes, bowlers are all. There are many amateur greens experts. Josh just sliding by there, so it's 1 to Gavin Brown.
So you think a backhand shot here from Marty. And the reason for that is if he was to play on his forehand, you're setting the head to pop the jack back to the opposition bowl. So you may as well play on the other side, to the left as we see it.
Yep, and coming down on a good line, Michael gets on his haunches just to have a good look at this.
Well played.
Yeah, and that's the shot itself. Still a bit of room there, but it's all about just keeping that momentum going, isn't it?
Certainly is. Wayne Rooker on the backhand. It might go for a walk, might go drifting. We'll just wait for it this bowl to see if it does come back. Sort of, I suppose the way it's come back, it was more the weight there that was a problem, wasn't it, rather than the green?
Yeah, I think he's got a good channel down there actually with his line, but yeah, it's just with the speed, and this time they've all been a little heavy, and so and here's Marty Dixon again, and yeah, that's a good bowl.
Beautiful bowl, beautiful two play. Smile there, someone said something. From Marty Dixon.
Bit of a chuckle. So Wayne Rooker again on a pretty good line here. Back it comes now. How's that weight? He's close.
Very close here, Brett. Look at this.
How's that weight?
And sit down for the shot. Or stay standing for one down.
Look, that's a tidy second. That's a very tidy second.
Beautiful effort.
So at this stage, both teams playing pretty steady. Probably really the difference so far is just that Royal Oak are getting that slightly tighter shot in there. But
and maybe sort of 3 out of 4, not 2 out of 4. You know, slightly more, that little bit more consistency.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to say as a triples combination, they're a pretty well-oiled machine. The Brown, Dixon, Galloway combination.
I find it interesting watching their communication as well, because often Gavin Brown calls a shot for Galloway. He'll hop on it lead and just say do this or do that, and that's clearly something that they've worked on over the years. And you see that a bit in some of the teams that have been together for a long time too, Brett.
Yeah, that's right. So Michael Galloway down here just looking to see if he can land in there.
He could get very unlucky here, but he's not going to.
Oh, well, set out, but I still think that's the shot.
And do you think the forehand's the call now for the Pringle Park combination?
I think it has to be. I think he's got to come down there and be looking for some jack movement there. No, so Wayne was obviously not unhappy with him playing.
If you're playing the backhand, you'd have to overplay it to pop it back to the two blue bowls,
that's
I suppose.
So Dollar. Yeah, I like the line. He's got a turning bowl, and here it comes. Close here.
Watch this.
Close here. Is he going to get back? He doesn't, but that's a great home there.
Beautiful bowl. He's played that style of bowl very nicely this game with no reward, really. He hasn't had a result yet, but he's been right in the area.
Indeed. And the frustration, of course, becomes when you're playing well but not scoring. And so a little bit of clarification there.
Just deciding what weight to play it with.
So might come out on that backhand side again. And this looks like a pretty good line for his bowl. It'll start to break. You just saw that little straightener there. Just went out slightly. But yeah, beautiful bit of weight. Just held out there. So seeing how far away the shot pole is. Does he play with a bit more weight? We know that he can be a very good attacking player. So do we see him raid down there?
Be tempting. Oh, he's taken the line for the weight, but I'm not sure if he's got the green for it, Brett. It's holding.
Just dies now, just as that weight comes off. Good effort.
Held up longer than I was expecting, to be honest, and one there to Pringle Park. Not one there to Pringle Park, one there to Royal Oak.
Yeah, so at this stage of the game, there's a bit of a pattern. First to the jack is tending to hold the shot through the end, and we're seeing a lot of bowls just narrowly missing, but that's enabling Royal Oak to score. So Pringle Park will be just thinking about that. We haven't seen Dollar bring out the big cannon, and we know that he's a very good driver.
It's there, eh?
But equally, the heads haven't always been set up to play that style. As the ends tick by and you get further behind, he may be tempted to look at just changing the game up a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. Again, it's a similar equation to pairs. Probably actually you have to be slightly closer. So in pairs, you're happy to be 5 down. Triples, probably you feel a four gap is okay because you can make that up in a couple of ends. So they'll be looking just to get a couple of 3 points on the board and maintain that gap or close it if they can.
Yeah, when you're only 1 down, you don't want to take too many risks. But when you're 1 down all the time, and the scoreboard's just quietly ticking away.
Yeah, you blink and it becomes a real challenge.
That's right. So no need to panic for the Pringle Park team, but equally they'll just need to keep thinking about their tactics. That's a good opener from Josh again, playing that side of the rink very well, particularly in this direction. I think he's only playing it in this direction. He's playing forehand around the clock.
And here we have Gavin Brown demonstrating what we spoke about earlier, where a lead often sticks to one side of the rink, even if it looks like the instinct there is to switch to your forehand side. But often in outdoor bowls in particular, if you've got one bowl there, it's easier to put another bowl there than it is to start from scratch.
And Gavin tends to be a backhand player these days. Tends to like to play, backhand round the clock, which is a lead is fine, as long as there's nothing untoward with the green. And so he's in a good rhythm, but then so is Josh. So can Josh drop another one close here?
Lovely delivery.
Very smooth. And just put a little bit of pressure on this Royal Oak team. Not sure he's going to reach with that second bowl. Yeah, beautiful line again. Maybe just a bit of sun, the carpet here warming up a little bit, and maybe just sometimes it can just make it a little bit slower.
Yep.
In the afternoons, and you can see what a beautiful day it is by the amount of sun that's outside. And we've got the sides lifted up here.
Good bowl from Marty. Look at that.
Yeah, that's good steady stuff from Marty, landing in the area. And so the familiar pattern continues. 1 down now. Can Wayne Ruka rest the shot away?
Just changing that pressure. So Wayne giving this one a look. He's not far away if he can clear that front bowl. This is very close here from Wayne Ruka.
Beautifully played.
Lovely shot. Yeah, nice bowl.
Probably still 1 down. Yes, 1 down single by $1, but definitely opened it up and has given his team a better chance at getting the shot.
Absolutely. Marty Dixon on his backhand again. He's not too far away here. Yep. Left-hander.
Mike Galloway saying good line again. And out comes the chalk.
Beautiful. And
it comes out for a reason because he's trailed the jack, and that's now 3.
And the concern here for Pringle Park, no back bowls.
No.
It's hard to be aggressive when you've got nothing past.
So Wayne is going to need to change his hand and look to punch down on that side, and both trying to get a shot but also trying to get a bowl behind. So let's see how he manages that.
Yeah, if he misses past, it's no worries, is it? And he's in the right area. It's down to the weight now.
I like the line. Here it comes. Here it comes. Does he get a little touch off that bowl? No, he doesn't.
Oh, well played, though.
Great bowl. Very good bowl.
And he's best back as well, so it'll be interesting to see.
So he's given Dollar a chance by getting behind and giving him a back bowl. Now, can he convert? I imagine Michael Galloway will be looking to get one right on top here.
Absolutely.
He holds 3, but it's then again he may not want to close the gaps. But I suspect Michael will be trying to draw a tight shot here.
Perfect delivery.
Let's see. Well, he's tight. Very tight out of the hand.
Oh.
And you can see Martin Dixon or Gavin's hand indicating he's wide.
Now let's see what happens here. Dollar on the forehand. He's the one with size. He's got size 5. Size 5 Evos.
Right. Well, he's on a good line. His bowl will turn. Has he got the right weight? Here it comes. Here it comes. He needs that little touch. He gets the little touch.
I mean, how often can you... Oh, he's okay.
And he gets a shot.
I was going to say, how often can you go through a gap having been really close? It's interesting for those players who've seen Peter Bellis play, and it should be a few of them. You'll note that the delivery that Mike Galloway has is very, very similar to Peter Bellis. I know they played together at a Hong Kong Piers early on in Mike Galloway's career, and he told me he adopted some of Peter Bellis' delivery traits because he liked it so much. And probably not unusual in that for any bowler who came through in the 80s and 90s. As we see, it needs to clear the front. Good try.
Yeah, Peter was certainly one of the benchmark players. I mean, you know, Mike's not quite as tall as Peter is, but certainly of similar stature. And yeah, the two of them, both great technicians in the game, with getting their bowl away smoothly and consistently on that line, which is a big help.
Yeah, even this Evo here just doesn't want to come back. Didn't really have the weight for it to be fair, and probably happy just to take the one.
Yep, good fishing for Pringle Park.
Well, the way they look,
one it is. And so, good bowl there from Dollar. Beautifully played, you know, nice weight. And at 7-2, and we're playing the 8th of 18 ends in this Bowls Auckland men's open triples. There's plenty of life in this final yet.
Certainly is. I can remember, speaking of gaps in the triples final, I can remember playing this combination, the Royal Oak combination, in the Auckland triples final, and we were playing at New Lynn, and we were 6 up on the last end, and you would think that 6 up would be okay, so we dropped to 6 and won it on the last bowl on extra end, Brett. So it's never, it's never over till it's over. So even if one of these combinations ends up being 6 down, I've seen it happen before in an Auckland triples final, and I know because I was there.
Well, that adds a bit of excitement, I guess, in your 4s, Alex. Then you wouldn't have been too worried about having to get a 6 on the last end.
Oh, it was a chance until it's not a chance anymore.
Indeed. Well, there was one in my time of playing with some very good players like Phil Scoglin. That was one thing they drummed into us. You never finish early.
Yep.
You keep playing until mathematically you can't win, because sometimes mathematically people do win. And
seen stranger things happen. Look at that there from Gavin Brown. Good bowl.
Yeah, very tidy from Gavin. He's playing very well, getting this team off to a good start. But he's having to, because Josh is playing really well, and I just love that nice smooth consistency of his action.
Beautiful delivery.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know who's been coaching him. Perhaps Kerry Chapman, because it looks a little bit like the smooth delivery we see from Kerry. And there you are. Look at that, just outside getting shot. That's 2 magnificent bowls for a third-year player playing in probably the biggest game of his career.
Big pressure as well.
He looks completely at home at this level, and I don't think this will be the last time we'll see Josh's delivery at this level.
Entirely agree. And Gavin Brown there, just getting caught. He took more green there, to be fair. His weight's right, as you can see if you look across. He had the same weight, but just more green. And Wayne Rooker maybe called on the backhand. Yeah, on the backhand. No, yes. Yep.
Yeah, he's on the.
Can't tell with his foot position, Brett.
Yep. No, he and Kelvin Scott have obviously from the same coaching manual. Slightly different actions to go with the feet position, and he's played a cracker.
Yeah, great bowl. He's very steady. We've Point Chev and Pringle Park often play against each other in the club competition and sort of some of the local events. I've seen a bit of Wayne, and he's always there or thereabouts, not to be taken lightly. No,
and a great guy to be around. Always very positive. He very friendly. plays the game in exactly the spirit that it's supposed to be played.
Totally agree. Marty Dixon here on his backhand. Good bowl. Good shot. Recently moved to Era Optima as his bowl, Marty Dixon. I think before the national, maybe the national singles and pairs.
Okay.
Switched to Optimas from another bowl. Something that was a slightly wider swing.
See a Green Master or something?
Might have been a Green Master.
Something like that. So Wayne Rooker again on the backhand side.
Sort of see the Optima popping up a little bit more often nowadays.
Yep, I'm playing with the Optima and I like it because it's a turning bowl.
Same.
You know, you get some good turn out of it. And I know also the aerodynamic, seeing a fair few of those around there. My good mate Wendy Jensen plays with the dynamics, and she plays very well with those, as do a number of the other leading players.
Marty just going past with the second one.
So at this stage, 1 maybe 2 to Royal Oak. Plenty of chances down there, $4 just to connect into the head. He's got 2 good catching bowls there from Josh Tippany, and a bowl of Wayne Rookers there to potentially turn around. So let's have a look. So he's down that backhand side looking for that connection, and he's close.
He's very close here. Needs it to get down enough.
Oh, it's just got that little hang again. There's just a little point in the rink, as we've been saying all day. We're about midway down, where the bowls just seem to straighten up slightly, and on that occasion, you just need to have the right weight to turn underneath it. If you haven't started turning before you get across it, then it tends to just hold you out.
Yeah, then you're in trouble.
Fraction. So here's Michael Galloway.
Get down, they say. Slightly overplayed, but a good first bowl.
Yep.
And this feels like an important shot. We think Pringle Park probably 2 down on this head.
Yep, definitely want a connection here.
Yeah, you just want to, yeah.
Yep, tied it this time.
Look at it go stepping out
there. It goes.
And now it's coming back.
Better weight this time.
Even the outside edge of this bowl. This is
Better
their bowl,
weight
remember.
This time. Better
Square.
Weight. Oh,
Goodness gracious.
Well, he nudged it round. So it looks like it's second shot. I see Gavin waving his finger, or Martin waving his finger at Michael Galloway, and that's not because he's in trouble. That's just to say he's got the shot. So Mike will be looking to just try and dare draw one down here on this forehand side. Conscious that, you know, he definitely doesn't want to move the jack. So let's see. Yeah, he's out on a good line. Just making sure he keeps out away from that jack, so he finds the line to jack 11. He's close here. Here's a great bowl.
What a shot.
Yeah,
what a shot.
Outstanding. Just outstanding.
So that's at least 2. Yeah, 2 there to Royal Oak as they eke towards double figures.
So 9-2. We've played 18s of the 18 in this Bowls Auckland men's centre triples final. And, you know, it's for Pringle Park supporters, it's a frustrating watch because they're only just missing. They're only just missing with trails.
And you suspect they've got here by not missing, obviously.
Absolutely.
And that nothing much will have changed. We watch a replay here of Galloway's last bowl. Look at that. Played to perfection.
And that's that confidence of having really good line. You know, knowing that you can draw confidently to the jack because you've got good line.
Well, that's what it gives you.
So a bit of a change of tactics here. We see Royal Oak going a little bit longer.
I'd be surprised if it was intentional, I suppose. Although, I mean, a great bowl there from Gavin. There's no reason to not do it.
Yeah, I mean,
guess,
if it wasn't deliberate, he certainly did it well.
Yeah.
And a good first bowl. So Josh Tippany, what's he got to offer in reply? Again, beautiful delivery, just smooth as silk, gets that bowl out. And he's on a good line here, Alex. Coming down really well here. Don't think he's quite going to reach. Just that I think one of the challenges, and both leads are doing it, when you're swapping hands all the time, is, or swapping sides of the rink, playing one side in one direction, one side in the other, is just that mental memory that the speeds are different, and you've got to really work hard to make sure that you're disciplined with your weight.
Absolutely. Look at this here from Gavin Brown. That's as good as leading gets there. 2 great bowls.
Yep. Yeah, there's a good reason why Gavin's got over a dozen centre titles, I think you said, Alex.
Some silly amount.
And that's because he's a very steady, composed player.
Over a dozen by 1, 13.
There you are, lucky 13. And so far, on track for the 14th, based on what we've seen today.
Yeah, Gavin's first title coming in the year 2000 with the Open Pairs, leading for Mike Galloway.
There you go. And here we see, Josh forced to change his hand, having dropped his first bowl short. Beautiful weight, beautiful speed, but just a fraction narrow, and now the pressure goes right on Wayne Ruka and on Dollar. The two very close bowls, and Martin Dixon, I'm going to guess, is going to be pretty close with this bowl.
I would say that you have guessed correctly here. This is a big end, so Royal Oak trying to put the foot to the floor, so to speak. Get a number here. I've just noticed my bowls are still on the bank, so don't let me forget those when I go home, Brett.
I won't, Alex. We might even be able to send somebody out to
They should be hard to miss.
retrieve them for you. So Wayne Ruka just sort of probing down on that backhand side.
Oh, good try.
Just underneath it.
This feels like a big end in the context of the game, doesn't it?
It does. Well, suddenly you're playing to an end where, yes, you want to draw a shot, but equally you don't want to be short.
Yeah.
So the temptation is to put a little bit more weight on and maybe play a little bit tighter.
Pringle Park should be 4 down in about 7 seconds as we see Marty. Oh, it's going for a walk. I still think it'll be 4. No. Okay, that's a commentator's curse. No, 4 down. I was right.
Yep, you were.
So the pressure again, because you think to yourself, I'm 4 down on the head. I'm 7 down on the card. We're halfway. That's my first, it's an opportunity at winning a final here. The pressures here are big, and Royal Oak will know it, and they'll be real keen to get on the mat. Look at this here.
So Wayne Ruka on the
lucky
burst.
result.
Oh,
no.
Well, he got one out. So it's 3 to Royal Oak, and certainly more room to draw.
Absolutely.
So we'll bank that as a good result, and good to see that they're just not going to sit back and let these heads build, because certainly if you allow the Royal Oak team to just accumulate shots, they'll keep drawing shots all day. I mean, they've been doing that for a long time, and that's why they've won so many titles together. So they've opened it up. They've given themselves a bit of room for Dollar to try and get the shot, and he's certainly drawn well enough in this game to suggest that that's definitely on the cards.
The only reason why he wouldn't is if he starts thinking about the fact that it's a final and you're halfway through and you're 7 down on the card.
That's right. And
everything else would indicate that Dollar will draw at least second shot here.
Now, all that assumes, of course, that Michael Galloway doesn't draw a toucher. And fortunately for Dollar, he hasn't. He has added another shot, so that's 4.
Essentially, you just pick the hand. He'll pick the hand that he favours here and just see how close he can get with his size 5 bowls.
Yeah, I think he'll play the backhand because he knows he's got a couple of bowls to sit on there. And I think this is tight.
He's not wide.
The Evo will just start to break now. He might get a sit on that bowl. He does.
Nearly.
I don't think that's going to alter the count. So that's 4 to, thank you team, great overhead shot there. So that's 4, I think, at least 3.
At least 3, yeah.
To Royal Oak, and I'm going to guess another one coming out of the chute from Michael Galloway.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't on the backhand side.
And this is where things start to get a bit edgy.
This is a big end. If Pringle Park can score here, well, it's going to be a challenge.
And that makes it tough.
He hasn't even made it a big target. If Mike had sat down, then you're thinking jacking the ditch from Pringle Park, but he's standing up on the bowl. Almost no chance of running the jack into the ditch because your bowl, you're not going to get around the the shot bowl clean. So
I think
here.
It's got to be a draw. He's got to draw Alex. I mean, he's four, maybe 5 down, and right now, that would put them out of the game if he can't get the shot here.
Oh, it's looking not great if you're a Pringle Park supporter here. That bowl.
Might get a sit on that one.
Or maybe a 3 then. We'll wait and see.
And his bowl fell out too. Right, so out come the measurers. 2 gone. 3 gone.
Well, that has it at 12-2. It's going to be a big job from the Pringle Park team. They need to change their game plan now. That's what you'd think to yourself. You go, well, we've got to 10 down with this game plan. Maybe they're going to get more aggression. 4.
4 it is. So 13-2.
Yeah, and I'd like...
you called it, Alex. You called it being a critical end. And it wasn't as if the Pringle Park team were far away, but far enough to drop a 4. And we're past halfway. So it's 11 the difference. We've still got 8 ends to go. So it's by no means out of the realms of possibility to get back into it.
Yeah.
But if it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because
now, really.
Well, you're not playing against a team that's made a history of losing finals from this position. So so you're going to have to do some pretty exceptional things to get back into the game. And just as we say that, the metronomic Gavin Brown puts another one there.
I sort of expect to see more aggression from Wayne and Dollar from this point on. I think they'll get to the halfway mark and go, well, we've got work to do here, so you may as well, particularly it not being a respot rule, and we know that Galloway's team is going to stack the heads up nice and tight, you may as well be aggressive from Wayne's second bowl. Like, go proper speed, and you're either getting 1s and 2s or you're killing it, and it kills fine. You know, you can, as we've seen, you can extend a game if you want. You may as well. Why not?
And the worst thing you can do in a final like this is not play an actual game. Because, you know, we often see, you know, players will get to this level and they'll go, well, look, it's a big moment, it's a big crowd, I don't want to lose. You know, but at some point you have to play your natural game. And we certainly know from having watched Dollar play in the past that, you know, he's an attacking player. To be fair, he hasn't had a hell of a lot to attack on some of the ends. And he has played some very good weighted shots and just been slightly unlucky. So let's see how it goes. Here comes Josh with a pretty close bowl here. I think this is going to be the shot. So that's what they need.
Good shot.
Yep, well played. And it's good to have one on the positive side of the ledger at this stage, and to give them a chance of clawing their way back into this game.
On the back end, look at this. This is what's so hard to play against. Because Marty's going, oh, that's okay.
Yep.
I'll just draw the shot, it's fine. And it's just, oh, it's hard to play. Wayne Rooker on the back end. They're going to keep battling away here, the Pringle Park combination.
And the thing is that end after end, the Royal Oak team are only having to draw. You know, so they're not having to play different shots, which can disturb your way toward the different line. They're basically playing their 6 bowls up the same line in one direction and then up the same line or similar lines in the different direction. This time Marty swaps over. That's obviously just because Wayne Rooker's bowl's fallen slightly in his line there.
Oh,
little grimace.
Didn't look very happy when he let that one go, did he?
No, well, given how slow that hand is, he might find it's a bit closer than he thought. There we are, just coming over the back, so he obviously knew he was a little bit quick, but they've got a shot, and I don't think Michael Galloway will mind them having the backest bowl.
Absolutely. Wayne wasting no time with his bowl. Oh, it's going to go for a walk.
Yeah,
and it's not coming back.
And your earlier point, Alex, when you deliver your bowl with a little wobble like that, if there is a wee bit of a straightener in the green, it is likely to make it more pronounced because the bowl is a slower turning bowl anyway, and so if it's not already turning, it's going to hold it out. I hope that makes sense for people listening.
Sort of the imaginary breaking point moves further down the green.
That's right. And so, and with Wayne having that wobble, he could probably play a lot tighter under that line than other people can. But obviously he'll be watching other bowls go down there and seeing the green they're taking. So Mike Galloway swaps over to that side, just wanting to stay off that short bowl. Now he's opted to go tight underneath that, but see, that'll go right away.
I reckon he let that go with maybe half an inch of a bump there.
Yep.
Which is, it's for Michael Galloway, that's a big... For Michael Galloway, that's not a very smooth delivery.
I'll let you tell him that,
I won't be.
Alex.
I won't be, and I hope he doesn't listen back to it.
So, Dollar now. Now, he's underneath the straightener. He's close here.
This should be close.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Is it bent enough?
To be fair for the Pringle Park team, we've seen, I can think of at least 5 bowls very similar to that last one, where Dollar has been within a bowl's width of playing a very effective bowl.
And, and it's so frustrating when you're just sliding past, because it's not as if you're far away. And I thought halfway down he had pretty good line, but just a little bit quick.
That bowl there not coming back.
Yep, look at that. Hardly turned at all, and that's from a bowl that, yeah.
Here we go. Dollar with his last bowl of this end. They trail 13-2. It's critical, really, that Pringle Park find a way to score. Willing it back. It doesn't want to. Look at that bowl. Fight against the bias. Again, just out. And another point.
Hard luck. As you say, just not getting the turn there. Both Wayne and Dollar had that slight wobble with the bowl, so their bowls are going to hold a little more anyway. And it's certainly when you've got a little straightener there, it's just going to hold them out. So it's a game of often frustratingly close margins, and that's what Pringle Park are dealing with at the moment. They're not playing badly, but the scoreboard just keeps ticking over in the advantage of Royal Oak. And we're on end 11, 12 the difference. I'm going to call Alex Pringle Park need to score here. Otherwise, I think this might just get a bit beyond them.
Yeah, you feel like if they don't score on this end, their chances of playing the last end are really challenged.
Well, and I think, the Royal Oak team are playing so consistently, you've got to say, where are you going to get a big number from? So, not impossible at all, and we see that happen all the time in our game, but realistically, we've got to see them score and score more than once.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you look at there's 7 ends to go, 8 ends including this one, Pringle Park probably, to be fair, the most you'll get is say 3. And that's pretty true for triples sometimes anyway. So most you'll get is a 3. So if we assume it's 2 for 7 ends, and they lose an end or so, we're going to get to the last end. Or Pringle Park are thinking, surely we can get to the last end and be within 4 points. That's all you need to do.
And it is a good point. It doesn't have to be they don't all have to be big numbers, but you do need to be scoring and you need to be putting some pressure on. So first time that Gavin Brown's, I think, played that hand in the final, and managed a close bowl, but plenty of room for Josh Tiffany. He's played very well in this game.
Yeah, nice smooth action.
Again, just getting a little wide, and obviously a bit heavier that time. He just put on a little bit more weight, and once, yeah. In fact, his line was pretty good. If you see where his bowls finished in front of the number 8, so
just overplayed, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and and that's just a little bit of tension, just trying to make sure you're not short again, and just give it a little bit of extra. We all do it from time to time. And here's Marty the metronome back on song, a little bit over this time. So here's a bit of room for Wayne Ruka. First time for a while he's had some space. Can he draw the shot? On a pretty good line. They'll start to come now. He's played this very well. Here we go.
Very close.
Here's Pringle Park for you. 1 to Wayne Ruka. So is this the start of the comeback for them?
Well, it's exactly what they need to do there. So that's a great shot from Wayne, really. And now your Pringle Park, you just have to back Royal Oak just to have an end where it's not quite. And I mean, look at this here from Marty, just underneath perhaps. So it's still alive. This end,
Yep.
still a chance.
Absolutely, and it's the first time they've had to play a lot of bowls down this trickier side, and so can Wayne draw another one here?
It's got that, say, like a cant to the bowl, and yeah,
there
you
you
can
are.
see there
Just
how
saw
it's
it shift.
impacted, and
So-
they've got that little wobble on them.
Yep, just hit that little shift in the green there, and because it was wobbling and it hadn't started that arcing into the head, it just straightens it out, and the player's having a little laugh about that.
You know, if you put backspin on a bowl, Brett, like if you throw it like a petanque ball with enough backspin, it'll flip bias halfway up the green.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. I can't do it, but I suggested it. I've seen Aiden do it before. You put enough backspin, that flips over, flips bias, so that can look quite cool.
I must say, I thought Aiden was very innovative on the last end with the side step drive. Haven't seen that for a long time in the game, but
we used to. I can't do it. I'm not athletic enough, but when we used to practice a lot, that was one of the ones that we used to practice for Aiden. We've used it once or twice to effect in playing pairs together.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely a shot that you can play. This is the idea of, instead of stepping straight out, you step to the side and come at the mat from a different angle.
So the place where you release the bowl is different, so you can create angles that don't exist or get around short bowls on a drive with drive weight.
And while it didn't actually get him much closer to the target, it actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, the intention was there.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do, particularly when you've got someone like Tony Grantham who's as good as playing blocks as he is.
Yeah.
It was. Here's a good bowl from Dollar. I like this. This is on a good line, and this will be close. Here we go.
Willing that to stop.
Yeah,
good bowl.
Yeah, that's two. Marty signals to Mike, 2 down. Right. Now, does Michael give them a little glimpse here?
On the forehand.
What does he do?
Some weight, not big weight. Just reaching through to those 2 bowls of Marty's that sit at 5 o'clock.
He's tight. He's tight here.
Yeah, this is huge for Pringle Park. How important is this bonus bowl?
Righto, Dollar.
If Dollar doesn't make it 3, Royal Oak psychologically feels like they've got away with it.
So, yeah, beautifully away again, Dollar. And actually, he's on a good line again. Alex.
He is on a very good line here, and those bowls should break enough if he's got the weight.
He's played this very well.
Beautiful. A lovely
That's
3
3
here.
excellent bowls from the Wayne Ruka, 2 from Dollar, 3 shots. The comeback begins.
Yep, 9 points the difference now. Do we see what length, Jack, would you throw if you were Pringle Park?
Well, I see Dollar's just.
I asked you because I've got no idea what length, Jack, I would throw.
I was going to say, and I'm not just saying it because he's done it. I thought they might go long, just to see if they can break things up. But
yeah, that was obviously the plan.
But long in the ditch, not so good. Mind you, better if you are trying a long end to be slightly over than short.
Yeah, I quite like the long end if you're going to be aggressive as well, because it's much more chance if you're hitting it for your bowl and the jack to stay alive. Depends why you're being aggressive actually. If you're still on the comeback trail like they are now, long ends is good. If you're being aggressive to defend something, you're better to be on the shorter side because the jack travelling from a short distance to the rink is unlikely or less likely to stay in.
Well, it's clearly not worrying the Royal Oak team because that's almost a full length end anyway.
You almost feel like the Royal Oak team's going okay.
Yep,
that's fine.
And playing short ends on this with just the green being a little tricky, they probably figure you want to be where the bowls are going to get a bit of turn. Certainly their bowls, and Josh will be disappointed with that. Good line again. He's
forcing Gavin Brown to his forehand side. Well, he's not. It looked like he was going to force Gavin to his forehand side there. Sometimes that can be a good call as a lead if you notice that your opposition leaders favouring one hand or going around the clock, you play, or ordinarily you play their hand for them, and then it blocks up and forces them to the other side. But it's done a similar thing, although in this case, not at all. And brilliant here from Gavin Brown. I'm just talking out of a hole in my head, Brett.
Well, that's just, just shows you that, how accomplished Gavin is in that spot. He just working up the line, not letting too much impact his play. I wouldn't have been surprised if he changed his hand, but obviously he felt it wasn't in his line, and
it wasn't.
Sure enough, it wasn't. So, he's a very compact player. Plays pretty much off a fixed stance, really.
Yeah.
Just a very small step, and so he can work up that line. There's not a lot of moving parts other than his arm and a very small step, and so he's just pushing his bowls up that, or swinging his bowls up that line, and two pretty good opening bowls there. Now, Wayne Rooker drew a very good shot last time. Let's see what he can do this time. He's on a good line for his bowl. Back it'll start to come now. He's close here.
What a shot. Lovely bowl.
Yep, that's a shot.
And Marty will be following that down. He'll be visualising the front toucher here.
So let's see what metronomic Marty does this time. Again, out on that really good line. Here it comes. You heard Mike Galloway, good to there. That's always what you like to hear when you're at the other end, when the skip says that to you.
Beautiful stuff. What a bowl there.
Yep, metronomical Marty is on it again. And, Wayne Rooker.
They thought about having a go at that. You can see the conversation going on, but Wayne saying draw in the end. On that, he's on an okay line here, isn't he? Wayne Rooker.
I like this a lot. Is it going to bend?
Needs a good result off the low bowl.
Oh, and that's unfortunate. He's feathered his own bowl out.
Couldn't have gone much worse, really.
3 down, and Marty Dixon out on that backhand side again that he's played so consistently in this game. And the news is not good, because this is going to be closer than the first one.
Look at this here from Marty Dixon. Just such a good team, this Royal Oak combination. And you have to... I don't know.
I think I know one thing, Alex. That is, I think we might see the big gun out here, because I'm not sure Dollar can afford to leave that sitting as it is there.
You'd be surprised if he's short, wouldn't you? And as we watch this replay here, look at this from Marty Dixon. 1 clap from Gavin.
Yep.
Does he get 2 claps from Gavin? No, just
two at
the end.
He got 2 at the end.
So I think a total of 3 claps there for that bowl from Marty, and we will see not a short bowl here. I'll be shocked if we see a short bowl from the Pringle Park skip. Pick your hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think here comes the big gun. Yep.
Very close
on its
too.
way. He's got the jack. He's got the yes, he's got the jack. Well
Good bowl.
played, Dollar.
Good
Great
shot.
bowl.
That's the sort of game play I think we'll see for the remainder of this end from the Pringle Park team.
Jack is out, so time to click the bowls, and they'll replay this end. So there you are, beautifully played. Just caught the edge of the jack.
Yeah.
And nice bowl from Dollar. Keeping his Pringle Park team in this contest.
Never really looked like missing something, did it, that bowl?
No, and I mean, as I say, I think he's played some very good bowls in this final. But it's been a bit of a tale of just bowls sliding past, just missing. And you have to say the Royal Oak team have just been a bit more consistent. Out of these 6 bowls, they're probably getting, 4 to 5 in the target zone, and Pringle Park have been getting maybe 3 to 4. In a game of percentages, you can pretty quickly get behind.
Particularly in triples.
Yep.
Oh, an interesting point that just popped into my brain. On the 1st of April, which was yesterday, on April Fool's Day, we had the new laws released in domestic regulations, Brett. And one of them was that if it's mathematically impossible to win in a game of post-section, the game must stop.
Okay.
Which didn't happen in the women's... I noticed it didn't happen in the women's final. But interesting because they technically, that your game has to finish nowadays in post-section. So if it's mathematically, say you're 8 down, so say Pringle Park's 8 down last end here, the laws state now you have to shake hands, and that's that.
There you go.
I quite like that rule. I like it for early rounds of post-section. Well, I mean, you've a bit of common sense in the final. If they want to play the end, they play the end. But early rounds of post-section, I think it's probably there to just keep the time ticking along. And the only real rule that stuck out to me as a change in the new rules. If you do want to find out what all the changes were, of course the World Bowls website and the Bowls New Zealand website both carry really helpful documents which outline the change by change, mainly just updating the language and removing space for different interpretations.
And a big shout out to the team, the Laws Committee. New Zealander Kerry Clark's been very involved with that for many years, now retired from all of his responsibilities with World Bowls, but Kerry and that team have done a really good job of enhancing the rules. Helen Stallard, one of your colleagues at Bowls New Zealand, you may know Alex, has just recently joined that committee. And here's a change. Here's 2 shots to Pringle Park.
Yeah, they sort of try to get that momentum going. It's good stuff if you're a Pringle Park supporter. It's what you want to see. You know, they only need 2 or 3 more scoring ends, and suddenly they're back in contention. They trail by 9 on this, the 12th end of 18, and that's an unfortunate bowl from Wayne because it was really a chance with his first bowl to draw to the 2 metre mark or tuck the jack around the corner and just have that statement of intent there, Brett.
Yep, speed was good, a little over, but you don't want to be short. But yeah, you know, with metronomic Marty following up,
you just can't really afford to leave a gap.
No, you know, he's just nagging his way down this backhand side, and dare I say it, but there we go. Shot to Royal Oak, and you've just got to capitalise on that advantage when you can. So, yeah, so good to have the new rules out, and no doubt there'll be a few talking points over the next few weeks and months as everybody gets used to those. But I don't think there was anything major in there, but definitely some good opportunities to clarify the rules. So
it was just about clarifying just the bit of common sense. And if I could just dispel one rumour with the rules, I've heard it said that if you stop a bowl, you lose the game, sort of thing. So if you the rumour is like if there's an opposition bowl, your bowl is going to hit something and you stop it, you lose the game. That's not true. The intention of that rule is for people, and we'll just watch this. Good bowl from Marty.
Outstanding.
Now, if that had looked like a bad bowl and Mike Galloway had stopped it, he would lose the game. That's the intention of the rule. If your player plays a bowl...
So you can't deliberately stop a bowl to prevent a bad result for yourself.
Yeah, that is the intention of the rule.
Okay.
It's been... some people have or they've interpreted it in their way.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And there's been the rumours flying around the clubhouse that you're going to now lose games automatically because you've stopped a bowl that's coming up the green. Not the case. The intention is certainly for if it's to be to your advantage to stop a bowl.
Yeah, it would be disappointing to think anyone would do that. I can honestly say in 43 years of playing this game, I've never thought of doing that, but I'm sure someone has thought of it.
I reckon it was somewhere in the Northern Hemisphere it happened.
And it sounds like someone did it, and that we definitely don't want that in our game. We want the games to be decided on the merit, you know, and however unlucky sometimes the results are. So
aggression here.
Dollar on the run again, 2 down on the head, and he's probing down on that back forehand side, and he's close. He's very close here. Definitely got one bowl.
Good shot.
Slides the jack across.
I mean, he deserves a good result, doesn't he?
Absolutely does. So that's Josh Tippany's bowl there on the left-hand side. So that's 1 to Pringle Park. And, yeah, maybe just haven't exactly had the little man on their shoulder at every stage of this game.
Look at this replay here. So technically he was maybe half a bowl narrow, so the bowl he hits feathers the jack to our left, but he deserves a good result.
Absolutely does. So look, 1 to Pringle Park, and let's see what Michael Galloway can produce here.
On his forehand side. Can't be far away.
He looks a little tight out of the hand, but he's got good weight. Is he too quick?
No. Nope.
Well, not for getting the shot, he's not. So well
beautiful. And that's the sort of stuff there. That's the sort of stuff that a skip like Mike Galloway has just taken what was probably another end to Pringle Park, possibly a 7-14, you know, possibly a 7-point deficit. He's taken that and just thrown it away, and now Pringle Park has to play another good bowl to even have a chance. And so little things, we're not even near the end of the game, but that's something that you would look back on a game if it stays like it is and go, well, that's a point where he ensured that this game was going to be won by Royal Oak.
Yeah, and you definitely saw the tighter line of Mike's bowl there. I thought it. I'll be honest, I thought it was a little bit tight out of the hand, but you know he was what we used to call a full draw, you know, full draw right up to the jack, and he played it very, very well. So
and he's got a bowl left.
So Dollar now.
Has he
played a magnificent bowl with his first. Right, this time he'll be looking, I think, to sit that bowl. We'll get some movement on his front bowl.
Giving himself every chance in the world here.
He's on a good line here, Alex.
This is close to brilliant.
He's on a good line here. Is it going to hold? Is it going to hold? He gets the... Yes,
good
he
bowl.
does.
Oh.
Well, hands on the head for...
that may sum up their game
Pringle
for me.
Park team, yeah, that's unlucky.
I don't think they... I think Royal Oak deserves to be in front. I'm not sold that they deserve to be 14-5 in front.
Yeah, look, that's it's a game of fine margins, and well, Gavin Brown just said they one down.
Okay.
Yep. So he just signalled one down to Mike Galloway. Now, whether that's a bit of motivation to make sure Mike draws another shot, I don't know. But Gavin's pretty straight up, and I know he's got a really good eye, because that's why he's often on the head looking at who's got the shot. So let's see. Maybe Dollar has managed to rescue this situation. And we'll see what...
he's taking a high line here, Mike Galloway. I don't think this one's coming back, so we'll see on a measure.
Yeah, you can see him holding his arm out. Finished on that high side, yep. Didn't turn back. Good speed.
So they're measuring, Marty's measuring, that's the Pringle Park bowl there at 12 o'clock. It's going to go back to...
Josh Tippany's bowl.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh,
one to Gavin Brown.
Tricked me for a second.
Yep, me too. I think whether that was just a bit of added motivational for Mike Galloway or not, we'll never know. Well, we could ask Gavin Brown afterwards. But 1 to Royal Oak. Unlucky, Pringle Park. 2 very good bowls from Dollar, and certainly a very unlucky result with the second bowl. Not to take anything away from a very good bowl played by Michael Galloway to draw the shot itself.
Yeah, correct, absolutely. You know, they're playing well.
Yeah, 15-5, you know, they're a pretty professional outfit.
They're playing well, and I mean, as much as we say that Pringle Park's been a bit stiff, which they have, it's been mainly because Royal Oak's going well enough that you need a perfect result to count. Yeah. You know, Pringle Park hasn't been in a situation where Dollar can go, I can arrive through the area. I've got maybe 2 feet where I'm getting a good result. It's been much more the shots he's been left with. I have to be perfectly square through a bowl or perfectly dead drawing something. So it's a result of how well Royal Oak are playing, I think.
So, again, a bit of a wayward one with his first from Gavin Brown, finishing out wide and reasonable weight. And Josh Tippany is making the most of it.
That's a good bowl. That's a good bowl.
Nice, classy opener from him. Really impressed with the third-year player. Man, what a future he's got in the game.
It's not going to be the first time we see him, is it?
No, he...
the last time we see him.
It's all right, Alex. I know it's been a long week of commentary.
I've had a long few days.
Yeah, super impressed with him. Super impressed. Just, you know... Really nice, tidy action, and
interesting.
Yeah, there'll be 2 of Gavin's more forgettable bowls. One wide, one at the back. Michael Galloway with a small teapot impression.
Yeah, I mean, all I would say for Gavin is he had the right bias both times.
He did.
So that's good.
So yeah, I'm not quite sure what was going through his head there, but here's Josh again. Just gets a clap from Dollar.
Try and jump on these opportunities. They're going to get less and less. You've got 10 points to make up and 5 ends, including this one.
Yep.
Less and less opportunities for Pringle Park. They have to take them.
Yep.
And you more and more feel like it's a kill or score situation as we near the end of this game.
Completely. Here's Metronomic Marty. The news is not good for Pringle Park.
Brilliant shot. Yeah. That's great. And now on the backhand has to be Wayne Rooker.
Well, the good news is they've got a good second and they've got a good position bowl, so they've definitely got the bowls to play to. And Wayne's on a pretty tidy line down here.
And forgive us our cameras, it's the light. It's not your eyes aren't going weird and you don't need new glasses. It's just the light causing a focus in and out there on the camera.
So, a good third shot there from Wayne. He would have liked to have reached it just to give himself a chance, but it gives Dollar a little bit more.
Well, you've got second and third, so Dollar could have a proper nibble at the shot bowl, clear 2 out, be holding at.
And Marty slides by, so there's still an opportunity there here for Pringle Park. Dollar obviously just saying to Wayne, "Come on, mate, we can get this. Come down here, just sit that bowl out, trail a jack." He's on a. He's not going to
needs it to hold.
Well,
not to
touch
be
off that well.
Nearly to be second and third now. So. And again, one of the ends for Pringle Park where they could think, well, we might be able to score some points here.
Yep. Suddenly, Gavin Brown's bowl right at the back there looks a pretty good home if Dollar attacks that, which he may well. Because in the meantime, we've got a bowl to come from Michael Galloway, and no doubt he'll be looking to get down there and get in amongst it, just to. Add a bit of uncertainty, but look, that's a pretty good end from the Pringle Park team so far. 1 down, and an opportunity to definitely score here. So let's see what Michael Galloway has got up his sleeve with his bowl.
On the backhand, very smooth delivery. Yeah, it's always pretty good.
So coming now, he's going to be close. He's going to be somewhere close in here.
Marty, stop making the camera go out of focus.
He's going to be very close.
I think Dollar should just wind up here.
Well, both of those bowls could go. He might lose one of his bowls.
Probably can in the back bowl off, I think.
Yep. But yeah, 2 down is not good fishing.
Or at the very least, like he doesn't have to super wind up, but you would expect that if he misses the head, the bowl should be going in the ditch, sort of thing. Like you want to be, there needs to be connection.
I think with the way this rink's playing, you want to play firmer.
Absolutely. Although that went well for me in the 4s. Let's not talk about that as we see this bowl. He's close. He's close.
He's got Jack. Oh,
good shot. Good shot.
That's a great bowl. So that's at least one. That's out to the bowl of Wayne Rooker. In fact, there's 2 bowls of Wayne Rooker there, so I'm going to call that 2 to Pringle Park. A little fortuitous, but he was in the target area,
he was
and he got a good result.
He was a bowl wider than what his perfect result would have been. But again, swings and roundabouts and bowls, and luck is in swings and roundabouts, and it's time he had a couple of good results go his way.
Absolutely.
So I think no one would begrudge him that result there.
Not at all.
And Mike Galloway doesn't seem to be too worried.
Look out here, slightly quick.
Right.
Slightly quick.
Now make it 3. He'll be thinking to himself, bonus bowls and an opportunity to play a bowl without a response. So if Dollar can draw 3 here, it is a 3. That's so important. Draw 3. What's the conversation, Brett?
Yeah, I think Wayne said we've still got 2.
No.
Just draw another one. So
on the back end, very nice out of his hand, this bowl.
Yep, good line for his bowl. His bowl will turn a lot more than Michael's, and you'll start to see it breaking now. Here it comes.
He should have it here.
Here it comes. Has he got the weight?
Size 5s. Size 5, struggling to make it up. He's not made it count, and I think just a 2. Oh, imagine if it's just a 1. That would be upsetting for Pringle Park.
Yep, let's have a look. Beautiful line from Dollar with that last bowl.
Yeah, it's gutting because he would have felt like that was good out of his hand.
We won't quite see who's got the shot.
Oh, it's going clean through that one.
So two it is. So look, not as good as 3, but they're on the board and they've got to keep scoring here. So another look at this bowl from Dollar, just jammed it into the shot bowl, got the got it back to his bowls.
He was in the area. I don't mind people clapping that bowl, because he was within a bowl's width of a good result. You mind it when someone misses by metres and gets miracle.
So end 14 of 18 ends in this Bowls Auckland men's open fours event, and it's Royal Oak, a team of Mike Galloway, Martin Dixon and Gavin Brown, leading the team skipped by Dollar Maota, Wayne Ruka and Josh Tippany from the Pringle Park Club. It's 15-7, and we've got 5 ends to go in this game. So very important that Pringle Park keep their scoring momentum if they are to continue to find their way back towards this title. Normal transmission has been resumed.
Yeah, good shot there.
Gavin Brown, after a couple of wayward ends, draws a front toucher, and now it's Josh Tippany to see if he can try and grab that shot for Pringle Park.
On his forehand side.
We have got a number of other finals going on here at the Bowls Auckland Finals Day, and we'll try and get some scores for you just in the lead up to the conclusion of play today.
Pretty sure Davey and Liam have just won or recently won the 1-5 pairs final against Colin Harris Webster and Steve Fisher. I saw that not posted by Bowls Auckland but by Aggie, and I trust her to be a good source of information for that sort of thing.
So 2 of the outstanding talents, teenage talents in our game, Liam Hill and David Motu, both playing in the Oceania Challenge in a couple of weeks' time at Blockhouse Bay. Liam playing for the Tonga team, honouring his father's ethnicity, and David playing in the New Zealand under-26 side, and having performed very creditably at the recent National Fours, where he was a semi-finalist, playing 3rd for Craig Merrilies in that event. I think in the under-26 team he's playing, he's leading in that side, or leading or playing 2. And here's a good bowl from Wayne Ruka. What a cracker!
Great shot.
Play.
He set himself up as well nicely.
So a bit of banter going on there down at the end. Wayne Ruka sort of saying, well, anything you can do, I can do better. Here's metronomic Marty out on that backhand side, where he's drawn so many good shots in this game, and just slightly on the high side, but finishing in a pretty good home.
Yeah, good shot there.
Well, they're still 2nd and 3rd, I think, to Pringle Park.
We should also mention that there was recently the New Zealand under-21s, the Rangatahi singles, and the results from that. Lee Warburton, who played a couple of years, I think he won a Bowls 3-5, I recall, with Liam Paulson.
Yes.
He won the under-21 singles, and runner-up was Davey Motu, and
Yep.
Liam was 3rd. So,
and Lee Warburton still playing out of counties.
Hormai. So
okay.
I think they affiliate to.
They do affiliate to counties. I know
yeah.
that Hormai club. Very nice little country club there. So we saw a bowl from Wayne Ruka, probably more weight than I would like to have seen, looking to raid that shot bowl out. But to be fair, Pringle Park have got 2nd and 3rd shot, and they're obviously looking to see if they can jag that bowl of Gavin Brown's out and just keep the momentum going for them. So Dollar, having a look at this, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes down with a fair bit of weight himself. He's played that forehand runner of his very tidily. He's got the opportunity of getting the jack in the ditch or getting the bowl clean. And I think at this stage of the game, he's proving that shot's a scoring shot for him. So
I totally agree with you.
Let's see how he's lining up.
And options left, right and centre as well, because he could go square through the shot bowl with no jack movement if he gets it dead square. Yeah, good call, Brett. And this bowl on its way. He's not
close.
far off.
He's close. He's real close here.
Little
He's
feather of
got
the jack.
Bowl, he's got the bowl. He's got the jack. He's got two.
Good bowl.
Great bowl.
Good to see that. I like that game plan. I think that's a really good call from Pringle Park.
Yep.
You know, you're not going to beat Royal Oak playing at their game, but you might beat them playing yours.
Absolutely, and just moving that jack out off the centre line just changes the dimension a bit. I mean, Michael Galloway played a very good bowl a couple of ends ago out on the side, but it forces him to adjust. Let's see what that adjustment looks like. He's on a good line. He's on a very good line. He's just going to pull up short.
I think he's still in for one.
Yep, yeah, applause from the crowd. So we'll certainly from this camera angle, it looks like he's got the shot. Let's see what the Pringle Park guys do. I think if he has got the shot, we'll see Dollar attacking again. But let's see. Yep. See that ball
On the forehand.
So
Dollar won't be short here. Oh.
Yeah, just running again, playing with weight.
If he gets back onto this is a stroke of genius.
I think he's got the jack. I think he's
Genius.
got the jack. I think he's got the jack. He's got the
What
jack,
a
and
bowl!
that's two shots to Pringle Park. What a superb bowl from Dollar.
That was, yep.
Dollar Ma'ota, you are a genius.
That was very good.
That's top class bowls. You know, to play a runner with the first bowl, a weighted shot with the second. He's now also got a bowl in the ditch. His first bowl, toucher. His second bowl, also a toucher behind.
Let's look at how good this bowl is. This is his first one through the shot bowl, a little feather, which is always really going to happen. He'd have had to get that bowl dead square. And then on the forehand, little snick, played for that.
And suddenly,
lovely.
Those bowls that were just missing before, Alex, are just connecting. And so, two here to Pringle Park.
It's a chance.
It's a chance.
Always a chance. Mike Galloway, though, has something to say about it. And he's winding up here.
Yep, he's
Mr.
driving.
Galloway.
Now it's interesting because he doesn't have the back bowls.
No.
Not that we could see, but he's driving to reduce. So let's see. He's on the drive.
Beautiful out of his hand.
He's close.
Good bowl.
He's close. He kills it.
What can you say?
Yeah, very well played. Very, very well played.
Just magnificent there. And again, you see Mike, such an effective skip in those key moments and spaces in a game. Let's just watch the replay. Look at that.
Beautifully delivered.
Was never missing.
Yep.
Boom.
You know, and just a little lesson there. You know, he made sure he was on the inside because, you know, there was no point being wide. Inside, he got a bowl. He could get either of the bowls. As it turned out, he got the jack and the bowl.
Well, that's where the chances were, wasn't it? That's where the bunch of bowls sat.
But really good percentage upshot.
Yeah.
To get that result. And look, you know, you just have to say 4 magnificent bowls from the 2 skips. You know, Dollar 2 great conversion shots, Mike a great draw shot, Dollar a second great conversion shot. Top stuff.
Murdered the jack with the last one. Great. Just great bowls.
You know, pleasure to watch and a pleasure to call bowls of this calibre. So Josh Tippany now on this replay of the 14th end. Just drifting by, but that's a handy spot. And let's see what Gavin Brown has to offer this time. wouldn't remember the last time they played this way fondly.
Was forgettable.
So let's see what the line looks like this time. The line looks much better.
Much better. You know, it just occurred to me today. See the Bowls Auckland logo? I didn't realise until today because I never really looked at it. It's a bowl and a jack.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Never noticed it.
There you go.
And apparently the thing above Rangitoto's a stylised harbour bridge.
Okay, well,
Yep.
you know, you learn something every day.
Who knew?
I'm not sure it'll be a Trivial Pursuit question at the pub unless it's a Bowls
Imagine
Auckland,
if it was.
quiz. But
Yes, so see the harbour bridge there,
I get it.
then Rangitoto, and the whole thing's a bowl
And it
and a
could
jack.
also be a sunrise or a rainbow
Anything you want to envisage it as.
or even the ring of a bowl.
Yep.
So there you go. Well,
You know, that's art, isn't it? It's in the eye of the beholder.
see, Alex, here I was, thinking that, I wouldn't learn anything today other than, how good people can play bowls.
You know what's on the logo.
And now I know. And I was on the board for 2 or 3 years. I can't remember whether we had that logo, to be fair, because that was pre-amalgamation, so I'll blame that.
Okay,
But
that
in the
seems fair enough.
But in the meantime, Gavin Brown has back onto his line in this direction.
Yeah, two good bowls.
Two very good bowls. And Wayne Ruka has been working a bit of magic in the last couple of ends. And let's see what he's got this time to offer as it starts to break now into the head. He's not going to be far away here. Yeah, well,
He's got the right weight, doesn't he?
it's in the area. Metronomic Marty now. Down on that forehand side. Mike immediately down on his haunches, so that's generally a good sign that he thinks it's going to be close.
Oh, good try.
Just gets onto Wayne Ruka's bowl, so it's not a bad result for Pringle Park.
He does have a very efficient delivery, doesn't he, Wayne? If you look, he just sort of essentially faces it square. Doesn't really take a step. You'd call it almost a static delivery.
Yep.
And the arm just backwards and forwards.
And he's in the zone again here. Just a little quick, I think.
Yeah, a little bit overplayed. Had the right green.
Now, again, this will pose the question. Does Dollar draw? Or does he back himself to come down on that forehand again? He's got the two back bowls.
I do like the aggression. You often feel in games like this you're either in or you're out. And you're better to go out with a bang rather than a whimper, I think, Brett.
Yep. Well, I think it's worked for him. So if we look at the head as it's sitting
underneath that bowl, it's at 10 o'clock.
Yep. That's probably a good guide for him, or maybe a good guide for him, and he could run the shot bowl onto the two bowls and clean them all out.
Yeah.
Or any connection with that jack, he's got the back bowl.
Marty just getting out of the camera's way. Thank you, Marty.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, I quite like that. I reckon the left side of the jack as we see it onto the bowl that sits at 4 o'clock and straighten up back to the 2 metre mark.
Yep.
You heard it here first.
All right. Well,
Well, he might not even play it actually based on the way he's looking.
I think he's just a bit worried about that front bowl.
How short it is, I
yeah,
suppose.
He doesn't go really flat out at it, but he's certainly played some good bowls. He's on it. He's on the forehand. He's gonna play it. So good on him. Here we go.
Tight.
No, tight.
Hoping for a very good result here. Well, it's not worse, is it?
No.
He's not made it worse. They now have 1, 2, 3 bowls right at the back. If anything, you've encouraged yourself to attack it again.
You could tell just the way he set up, he wasn't happy with that side. I don't know if he plays a backhand runner. He's only played on forehand runners so far in this game. But, obviously that front bowl's worrying him a little bit. So Mike Galloway will be around the back here. You saw Marty Dixon indicated where he wanted to be, and Michael Galloway's not quite going to make it. He's going to finish on the other side of those bowls. So that's still a chance for Dollar.
Yep, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yep, jack in the ditch.
He doesn't want to play his
shots.
forehand, does he?
No, he's not happy with that shot.
You need to go fast. He almost needs to go fast. He's switching to the backhand.
Yep.
Fair call.
Yeah, well, you got to play the shot that you want to play. I don't think he's drawing.
Very interesting. Cool.
Oh dear.
I find myself rather surprised at that, to be honest. I think that shot selection will be rude, to be honest.
Yeah, he obviously just wasn't happy with that forehand side, and then almost didn't really get him set himself up on the backhand.
That feels like a resigned bowl.
Yeah, he just sort of played it a bit quick. A lot of room here for Mike Galloway. Let's see what this looks like. But
at least the two.
Well, that's unusual. You got to say.
Just look for an indication from
One,
the players.
2, 3 it is. So that's a bit of pill to swallow for the Pringle Park team. I mean, they've played so well. I know they're going to measure just to confirm that third one.
I've already put it on the board.
Yeah,
I think I agree with you, Brett. It's disappointing because they've worked really hard to get back to within 5 or so points. It's an unfortunate way to drop a 3, and you never know how many more opportunities you're going to get to score numbers. I'm not sure if there's many left in this game.
No, look, 18-7. We've got 4 ends to go, but you're playing a team that's got over 50 centre titles between them. This is not unusual territory for them, and you would have to think that closing down the game is not going to be something unfamiliar to them. Having said that, we've already seen the Pringle Park team fight back mightily in this game, and nothing's guaranteed. So we'll let the bowls do the talking, and but so far, yeah, just looking a little steadier, the Royal Oak team, and the Royal Oak Rockets, as they were known in the bowls 3-5, and certainly at this stage they're looking like the Rockets got plenty of fuel in it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the warning bells will be ringing for Pringle Park here.
Josh Tippany changing his hand. I think it's the first time I've seen him play a bowl on the backhand in this,
I was just thinking
this direction. I'm not really sure why he changed, because that bowl isn't in the way, but
and we might start seeing the eggs in the basket strategy, a bit like if anyone tuned into our attempt at winning the 4s against Tony Grantham and co. When you need a number, you literally just go, well, we're all going to get on the rake. You sort of aim a metre and a half past. You gather all the bowls there. If one of you picks it up, you're training the jack to the group. That's how you can score a number. And it does presuppose that the opposition's going to miss. Might even be worth calling Josh to have a go at this. You need to be finding ways to score your points. On the back end.
Certainly very impressed with this young man. He's played very consistently through the final. He's up against one of the most decorated leads in Auckland, with
good bowl,
13 centre titles, and look at that, just a cracker.
Sue Curran just spilled her coffee in the background. Sorry, we should be focusing on the bowls.
Well, Alex, you can go and get her another one, and I'll just stay here and try and keep things under control.
No, we're fine. I'm focused. I swear.
I know it's been a long week at the Multi-Nations. Hold on,
we've got 3 ends to go.
We'll help you through the last 4 ends.
Going to start seeing things. Oh, was it 4 ends to go? Yes.
If we get there, but Brendan, grab the chocolate. I think we might need it sooner than we think.
I'm fading. Oh dear. So Wayne Rooker on the forehand. Interesting.
So. Just slipping past.
This is the eggs in the basket, so isn't it? If you look at those 3 bowls, if the jack can somehow get back, 3 or 4 feet, they're in a scoring zone.
Well, they're definitely not going to get the shot being short, and we've seen Dollar be well and truly capable of playing the shots to keep them in the game and to get them to score. So, I'm with you. Here's Metronomic Marty again.
Now, I know it looks like a good bowl, but is it? Because the jack should now pop back quite easily.
Yep. So you heard it. Forehand. Peel it.
Peel it. Oh,
Peel
yeah.
it.
Very cool.
There you go.
Got a smile
Right.
from... Look at that.
Here we go. Oop.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It's going to get both. Oh,
Ooh.
goodness gracious me.
So he peeled, but
did.
Unfortunately
Yeah.
it was their bowl, not the shot bowl.
It would almost be hard. It depends on the angle. You can't really see it, but the jack's touching the bowl. If they were unlucky, Pringle Park could hit the bowl. The jack could bounce back up the rink and not kill.
Yes, it could, Alex, but just have more coffee or chocolate, and it'll be fine.
No, it's missing.
I think
Look, it's just a clear kill there.
it'll kill if he
fine.
hits it. But
So we think that's probably the call for Pringle Park here, you reckon? Just sort of wind up.
I imagine that Dollar won't be short. I think he'll come down, on that backhand side, and look to see if he can just get a connection on the shot bowl.
We're thinking 11 points, and this is the 15th end. It's do or don't sort of
Yeah.
situation, isn't it?
Yeah, I think once it gets to 12, and that's 2 6s, that starts to get pretty tricky.
You're in dire straits at that point. So we're expecting to see an aggression here from the Pringle Park skip. Mike Galloway just putting the ball back. It's unlikely to go back, really.
Yeah, look, he probably can't really improve that head, so he's gone to the back.
Just a bit of safety.
Dollar is going to play on the forehand, so he obviously sees he can get down through that gap.
We haven't seen...
He's close. He's close here.
Could get them both. He's got them
mighty
both.
close.
1, 2.
Oh, yes,
Good
great
shot.
bowl. What a wonderful bowl.
Beautiful stuff. Beautifully. Wasn't that
Could
beautifully
not
played?
have played that better. Could not have played that better. And it did. And the jack did go to the bowl, Alex. So there you are.
Oh, brilliant.
So 1 to Pringle Park at the moment. I don't think that'll worry Mike Galloway too much.
No, these players are so experienced. And all the players that you find have won so many things and manage a scoreboard brilliantly, and it informs their shot selection.
So just playing up there with a little touch of weight, looking to sort of sit the bowl or trail the jack. Just going a little wide, so now Dollar with a chance to draw another shot. So 18-8 as it sits now. Can he make it 18-9? I like the line, but I'm just not sure if he's going to get there.
Willing it on.
And to be fair, he hasn't had a lot of draw shots in the last wee while. Look, fair play to him. Great first bowl. 1 to Pringle Park. They stay in this game, and that's the most important part of it.
Let's watch it again, Brett.
Just came down on that forehand side. Beautiful bit of weight.
And he was always using that bowl, wasn't he? And then the collision bowl
And
onto
just
there.
got that touch in. And I have to say, in the last few ends, he's just been playing that weight so well.
We've probably seen a lot more of the shot play that got them to this point in the last half of the game.
Yep, I think that's true. I think, in some ways it's, the scoreboards force them to play that way. In some ways the heads weren't always set up to play those shots early. But either way, he's done very, very well. Here's Sue Curran. Is she back? Has she got a coffee? No.
She had destroyed. She's mopping it up. There's the coffee there.
It's a very nice. I must say, she's got a very nice jacket on there. That's a very stylish jacket.
Yes.
Clearly St Heliers have got some very nice boutiques out there.
Bowlers known for their sense of style, Brett.
They are. So
as I sit here, and
Sue's son-in-law is a good friend of mine, so he'll have a little chuckle about that next time I chat to James. And in fact, Sue just wandered past. So
making their exit.
yep, might be time to head home. There'll be a party at St Heliers Bowling Club tonight for Catherine Bean and Ling Q winning the Women's Centre Open pairs today.
If anyone wants to watch a documentary filmed in the mid-90s that catalogues what a weekday tournament was like at bowls, there's one on the New Zealand Television Archive. I'll find out what it's called before. Absolutely brilliant, and it takes place at St Heliers.
Oh, there you go.
It's in the mid-90s. It's about 25 minutes and documents what a day tournament was like in the mid-90s. And it's there's some clear differences. The president sat at a table in a blazer.
Great bowl, Josh.
Look at that.
Great bowl, Josh
shot there.
Tiffany. This game isn't over yet. Come on, Pringle Park.
I shared it once, and I might do it again, actually. It's really informative. It's like a slice of history, Brett.
Well, the game, as someone who started playing in 1978, was much more formal back in those days. I can remember it would be very unusual for the president not to mark a singles final, and a very unusual not to mark it in a tie and blazer, which could be pretty hot. And certainly, great clubs like Remuera, St Heliers, Mission Bay, Carlton were pretty formal with their beautiful blazers and ties and traditions.
There you go. It's from 1992. It's called First Hand Bowling Order.
There you go. Well,
it takes place at the St Heliers Bowling Club, and is a slice of history.
Well, can I encourage everybody to have a look at that? And right now, we've got Pringle Park holding 2 shots. And so 3 ends to go. This and 2 more. I don't think they're out of this game yet.
Well, we've seen them just cling on, and all they want to do, legitimately, is you just want to play the final end in a centre final or any final. You want to be like, look, we're within 6 points on the final end, and like I mentioned at the top of the game, I've seen one of the teams in this final score a 6 on the final end.
Yeah.
It's doable. You can do it.
Well, so 2 so far to Pringle Park on this end, and Wayne Ruka again on a pretty good line down here. Not sure what he's going to do with weight. He's a little bit over the head. Is he going to break in for... Nope, just a little bit over. Good at the back there, though at this stage of the game it really is about drawing shots. But, so look at the look at our YouTube page for that documentary. I can honestly say, Alex, I've never watched that, so I'll watch it with keen interest myself.
Yeah, I stumbled upon it, and it was fascinating. I'll share it actually on the social Bols New Zealand social media. I think it's worth a look, and just a good insight. I think you see really how much the game has changed and stayed the same.
Yeah, well, it's a game of great tradition, like a lot of sports. And one of those traditions, I think, is the great camaraderie of the game, and the fact that for many of us it can be a lifetime involvement and a lifetime of friendships and associations that you make through the game, and obviously you meet new people all the way along. So there's lots to be said about that. So I'll look forward to watching that documentary. And back here at the Auckland Centre Open Triples, the Bowls Auckland Centre Open Triples. In this men's final, we have Pringle Park holding 2 and a beautiful bowl from Dollar. Pringle Park holding 3.
There's some pressure now.
So, suddenly, a couple of loose bowls in an end. And Michael Galloway now down on his forehand side. Hasn't had to save very often in this game. Generally, he's, that's been delivered on a plate. And
still going to be 3, Brett.
Still 3, Alex. Just caught a little bit wide out there on that hand. As you know from first-hand experience playing on that rink today, it can go that way. So now,
here comes the sting in the tail to this game, you feel.
Can Dollar add another shot here? Can this be the bowl that really gets Pringle Park back in this game?
He's got the weight right. He's got it.
He's on good line. He's on real good line.
Brilliant.
He's on good weight. Here comes 4 shots.
Don't make a split, they think to themselves. Do we see Galloway just wind up on this, Brett, or what's his shot selection?
I think he's driving. Yep.
Here we go.
Well,
another key moment in this game.
Big call. 4 down.
This hand held for me when I attempted to drive, so let's see how much better Mike Galloway is than Alex Reid. And here's the answer to the question. And a follow through. What a bowl.
Yeah, very good bowl from Mike Galloway. I think Pringle Park still got a shot.
Still one. Yeah, 1 to Pringle Park. But what a shot that was.
Isn't it funny in the game, you're holding 3 and Mike plays his first bowl, he's wide. You want to try and add another shot. You do add another shot. And maybe an inch or 2 out of the way, you just set it up for that split, which wouldn't have been on. I don't think Mike would have played that shot.
Wasn't on.
If he hadn't have drawn that bowl.
Yep, it wasn't on.
And that's no disrespect to Dollar. He could have just as easily been an inch on the other side, and it would have made it really hard for Mike to play that shot. So it's a cruel game because, in that situation, as we said, Pringle Park just had to keep drawing. But look, all fair play to them. That's another shot to them. It's 18-9. Second last end, and they've still got a chance. And as you said, Alex, wouldn't it be great if that chance means they can play the last end in their first final?
Absolutely. Woo, woo.
Josh Tippany just...
Well, there you go. That might come in handy at the end.
Yep.
You never know.
Yep. A clap from Dollar. And look, Josh has played very well in this final, as we've said a number of times. Just an outstanding talent, clearly. Is he in the Auckland junior team?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Sorry, Brett, I'm a little bit out of date with all the.
Well, if he's not,
who's and what.
If he's not, he certainly will be soon.
Yeah, he's got great mentors, I think, at the Pringle Park Bowling Club. I mentioned again at the top. You've got Kerry Chapman, Tony Bellog, and a spattering of others. Who are very, very good bowlers. So a good group to learn from. Yeah, a nice club to play at.
And just a nice, smooth action. Just very metronomic. We've talked about metronomic Marty, but we might talk about metronomic Josh as well, because he's played very well. And again, just slightly over here, but look, that's good. He's giving his team a chance by being over, and we know that Wayne and Dollar are both well capable of trailing that jack. So
it's the way to miss, really, isn't it?
It sure is. So Gavin Brown coming down with his second bowl, and that's good tidy leading. He's certainly played some good bowls. I mean, it's been a good leading tussle, but you have to say Gavin's just been a little bit more consistent, a little bit closer.
Yeah, every position, Royal Oaks just had that little edge, you feel, over this game. Like they deserve, they've never been behind in this game, and it's unsurprising.
And we said in the intro that, two bowl triples is a drawing game, and by and large, Royal Oak have drawn more consistently than Pringle Park.
Yep.
Undoubtedly, some great shot play from Dollar and some great driving from Michael Galloway just in this back half of the game, as Pringle Park have come onto their draw game a little more. But by and large, it's just been simple drawing. So there you see Marty Dixon round the back with the first bowl, just making sure that he's got those covered. Probably got a bit closer to the ditch than he was planning. But nevertheless, a good bowl. And now Wayne Ruka played some telling bowls in the last couple of ends just to keep his team in it. Does he hold here for the jack?
Close.
Does he hold here for the jack?
He's close.
Does he?
Oh, just underneath. But again, you've got the basket waiting for the eggs, I suppose, Brett. And there's a trail on there on the forehand side.
Yeah, look, really smart play from Pringle Park. I mean, there's no point being short. Those two bowls of Gavin Brown's shot, so you want to be reaching down there and looking for jack. You can see where Marty's trying to cover.
That's a really good bowl.
Yep, that splits those two.
Three's challenging now for Pringle Park, and that's the minimum score required here. What would you play, Brett?
Look, I think Dollar has got to play pretty firm down there. He's got two bowls right at the back. I think the way he's played to date, he could run down there. If he's a little wide, he might get both bowls and stop. If he's a little narrow, he might get the jack, maybe even a kill. But I think, I think he's got a lot to change this up. And he's played so well on his forehand side, so let's have a look. But yeah, both bowls gets him two, and a bowl in hand for three. Jack in the right place might get him three. So yep, he's just reaching down there, not playing with perhaps quite as much weight as I thought he might have.
Maybe looking just to trail it.
Yep, just looking to sort of play over the draw and trail it.
Needs a spot to keep running. Because their scoring area now, sort of, if you look at, I suppose, 5 o'clock to the jack. If you can get the jack to there might be a space for three.
Well, his other alternative, Alex, is to go for the two bowls.
Yes.
And to run for the two bowls, see if he can get them clean.
If he gets it square, his collision bowl could even hang around for three.
Absolutely. It could. So that would be my call now. I think pretty hard to get you three. Not impossible, but pretty hard to get you three. Wayne's having a look.
The challenge with getting the three is that the jack is, his last bowl's low. So if you try and get the jack to go at a 90-degree angle, that requires such a fine feather. I do like removing the 2 bowls, or just go for a kill as the other option. They needed 3 here. They're 18-9 down on the penultimate end.
I think Wayne indicated they might have the shot. So, yeah, Dollar, there he is.
He's very close to getting
them
both.
He's
close to them both. He's oh, goodness gracious me. That's it. That's it.
Yep. Look, well played. What a great exhibition of bowls. You know, a trademark performance from the Royal Oak team of Mike Galloway, metronomic Marty Dixon and Gavin Brown. Easy to see why they've won over 50 centre titles in Auckland. Been a very dominant combination. But look, I just want to shout out for Dollar Maota, for Wayne Ruka and for Josh Tippany. Terrific effort for Pringle Park to make this final, and at stages in this game they were right in it. It actually took that international class ability of Mike Galloway with a couple of drives to nullify that comeback. But congratulations to the Royal Oak Rockets, and lots for Pringle Park to be really proud of with their performance. And I'm going to look forward to seeing a lot more of those players in coming period of time. So, but in the meantime, all credit to Mike, Marty, and Gavin,
absolutely,
for a pretty commanding and convincing performance. Very professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, I'd just like to thank you, Brett, for hopping into the commentary booth and carrying it today. You've done well. I'm not even sure if I'm going to remember my day in a week's time, but it's been good to have you along and good to be able to broadcast these finals. There's, of course, more stuff to come up. We're going to broadcast the Oceania Finals Day. There's a National Interclub. There's Bowls 3-5. Things left, right and centre to check out on both the Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel, also Bowls Wellington, whom we're recording a Finals Day for.
And thank you to the technical team for their superb work today. Great work on the cameras, and well done to Bowls Auckland, to the administration and the supporters of our game for turning this into such a festive atmosphere. Great opportunity to watch some amazing bowls, and to enjoy the company of a lot of people from our game.
Yep, so on that note, sit back, relax and enjoy highlights from that final day of the Auckland, the final game of the Auckland Bowls, Finals Day, the triples, and well done again to Royal Oak.
Yeah, good.